says going live. I don't know if it means it's live or not, though. Now I can't hear me at all, Chad. Can you hear me?
See, I hear you.
You're live.
What's up, the woke conservatives?
Hopefully you guys can hear us right now. Please let us know in the comments if you can or not.
No, it's not cold. It's a cool hat.
Oh, man. Chad, can you hear us good?
I can hear you good.
Okay.
Sweet. Yes, that was producer Chad in the background. So it's our first time going live, and Caitlin.
Oh, yep.
Yes, we
I
hear
us.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's a delay here now. Quite a delay.
Yeah, we're not.
It's freaking me out. I don't know if I even like seeing it on there. Like,
yeah, I don't think we should watch ourselves.
Well, take that one off there, off the big one, Chad. I don't want to see that. You see me pointing like 5 minutes ago now.
Just unplug it?
No, just put something else up there. I don't want to see it up there.
Because we're watching from the tablet, and what we're saying is going.
It's like way delayed on that one, so it's
yeah.
like seeing like one of those goofy mirrors at the circus. That was really weird.
I don't know how to put something up, so.
That's fine. Just leave it and let you know when you need to look something up.
So how's everyone doing tonight?
First live one, so it's going to be clunky here, obviously.
First live.
Please bear with us.
Yep. How was your weekend? Tactical man bun.
My weekend? Pretty good.
That's good. That's good.
Might not be the weekend when you see this. Oh, it will be.
Yes. Because it's live.
It's live now, so Chandler will be correct from here on out.
Yes.
So, what's your story you got for us tonight?
Well, I got one. It's the Donald Trump coming back from the COVID recovery.
Coming back from the dead.
Yeah, coming back from the dead from Walter Reed. And everyone wants to criticize the president for, and we can't show the video because we don't copyright and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll give you the gist. Everyone's seen it on CNN, Fox, ABC, all that nonsense. But what it is, he's going up and he takes his mask off when he goes up the steps to the residency of the White House, and all of a sudden CNN just flips out. Oh, there it is. He's just like, why is he doing that? He should not. He just put the wrong signal for the, like, to show that he's getting better.
Right. Well, you made a really good point earlier talking about like that's his house though.
Yes.
Like he's home. He should be able to take his mask off.
Yes, just because he's in front of people does not mean he doesn't.
And there's nobody around him either.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the big deal about it.
Well, the nearest person was 400 feet away, I think it said.
Jeez.
Hey, producer Chad, can you look up the Trump's speech after he got in? Like his what? Like when he came into
Inauguration?
No, like when he got back from the hospital.
Then he got back to the hospital. But he just goes on to say something along the lines of, we should not fear COVID-19. And as he's looking that up, I want to go over some of the speeches that have been said throughout time of panic and what presidents have said. And Ronald Reagan said one, we lost, this is after the Challenger that day, it says, but we've never lost an astronaut in flight, but we've never had a tragedy like this. And perhaps we've forgotten the courage it took for the crew of the shuttle. But they, the Challenger 7, were aware of the dangers, but overcame them and did their jobs brilliantly. I want to say something to the school children of America who were watching the live coverage of the shuttle takeoff. I know it is hard to understand, but sometimes painful things like this happen. It's all part of the process of exploration and discovery. And did you find a producer, Chad?
Letting it load.
Oh, yeah, skip that. There you go.
Can we hear it?
Yep, just give me a second. Gotta turn the one up in front of you, Chad.
Did you find a producer, Chad?
Well, I got your other one playing in the background. Close that out completely. Now he's going in 5 directions at once. There you go.
And it's really something very special. The doctors, the nurses, the first responders, and I learned so much about coronavirus. And one thing that's for certain, don't let it dominate you. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the best medical equipment. We have the best medicines, all developed recently. And you're going to beat it. I didn't feel so good. And 2 days ago, I could have left 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I felt great, like better than I have in a long time. I said just recently, better than 20 years ago. Don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives. Don't let that happen. We're the greatest country in the world. We're going back. We're going back to work. We're going to be out front. As your leader, I had to do that. I knew there's danger to it, but I had to do it. I stood out front. I led. Nobody that's a leader would not do what I did. And I know there's a risk, there's a danger, but that's okay. And now I'm better, and maybe I'm immune. I don't know. Don't let it dominate your life. Get out there.
Oh, no.
Be careful. We have the best medicines in the world, and it all happened very shortly, and they're all getting approved, and the vaccines are coming momentarily. Thank you very much. And Walter Reed, what a group of people. Thank you very much.
Yes, and shout out to all the medical professionals who
Took care of him and everything.
Took
Yep.
care of them, nurses, doctors, the whole crew. But what you heard there was not someone, except for said maybe I'm immune to it.
Right.
Well, they were saying that way back when it started.
Was what?
That if you got it and you beat it, it could cause you to
Give
be
you herd
immune for-
immunity. Yeah.
So
Well, just like in anything, like I'm sure, you know.
Yeah, it could be like nobody knows it. We're not saying that that's what it is because we don't know what actually if you can, because there's different strains of the coronavirus.
What a great speech, though, like for him to come out and say that, you know, like that he beat it and to like tell people to keep going on with their lives and stuff.
Yes, they don't go and tell cancer patients, "Oh, you're gonna die. Just don't be
Right.
happy no more." They say like, "We'll get through this." They like give you confidence. Like go out there, be happy, spread joy. But he also said there was a part in there. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Was like he did this. He led from the front because that's what great leaders do. Well, like when you're leading people, like troops or anything like this, I never seen my company commander when I was in the military ever panic. Never. He never came out and said, "Guys, we can't do this. If we do this, there's danger that's going to be involved." No, he boosted your confidence and said, "Hey, we're going to go in there. We're going to get the job done. We're going to can go on to the next task at hand." Well, like he never said, "Oh, well, he better panic."
Right.
Like now's the time for panic, you know, because no, you don't do that as a leader. Showing 300 million people, you don't panic. You don't make 300 million people panic. That's the worst mistake that you could ever do. And
no, it was great. He handled it exactly how he should have. Like I thought it was a great speech. Did a really good job, and you know, that's what people need to hear right now.
yes, you need a leader who leads from the front, not a leader like Joe Biden was when he was kneeling on the ground. No, you don't do that. I'm sorry. Like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all them who are kneeling for these Marxists. You need a leader who is going to stand up. No, he didn't say exactly how correlate. He didn't tell the American people how dangerous it was. And just like I said, my company commander knew how dangerous certain things that we were going like in training and everything like that, like dangerous conditions we were going to be facing, 120 degrees in the heat, negative, or not negative, but it goes down to 27 degrees at night. That's like, he never panicked. He never told us like, "Oh my goodness, it's a scorcher. Like make sure like we can't do this. We can't do this. No, he's like, you can do this. He built up the confidence of the troops. That's what I'm trying to say Trump's doing. He is building up the confidence in the American people and let them know, like, hey, we can get through this.
Right.
We're the greatest country in the world. It's not time to panic. It's time to like unite and fight this head on. Can get it out of here so we can go on about our business, go on to work, and go on to the movies since the movies just shut down again now. So
James Bond's never coming out.
no,
It's doomed.
it's gonna be like Glenn Beck said. It's gonna be 14 years before we get to watch.
Daniel Craig will be retired by then.
Yes.
They said April.
It's never. They said that last year.
They did.
But no, it's time to reopen. It's time to move forward. Time to get going. We know enough about things right now to know that it's not terminal. Obviously, we have the numbers from the CDC and from everybody else saying that the only people that actually die from it are people who have underlying conditions, of 2 or more.
Yes.
It's when it's fatal. And there was absolutely nobody that's died from it that has not had some kind of underlying health issue or been at risk already for other things.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
So this isn't something to stop our whole life over and to just shut everything down again. Unfortunately, our governor disagrees and wants to shut everything down again. So technically right now we're supposed to have masks on inside here because we're not all living at the same house. So, but it's not going to happen.
I'm an American, so
Right.
sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. This is the same lady who, is
Sure.
in trouble for putting people that were convicted felons inside nursing homes, allowing, residents to get sick and put in danger.
This is the same person who tried to allowed her husband to use her power to try to get his boat launched into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who my wife is? Nobody cares who your wife is.
I know a kid that worked for the guy who owns that dock company too.
Yeah.
And I was with him that day that he called and he said like, oh yeah, like apparently Whitmer's husband called, tried to get his dock put in. He said, does that bump me up the list at all if, my wife's the governor? He said, nope, that puts you further back.
I was actually told that they just laughed at him.
Yeah, like I heard that too. Like a lot of people just laughed, and like I heard what Kyle said too. Like that hat was on the news too.
Yeah.
Not the news, but someone posted on 9 and 10 News that that's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Well, that's one of yours about.
So I want to talk a little bit about the second case of bubonic plague found in China right now.
The bubonic plague.
And usually I try to steer away from these things a little bit, not to get too dark and doom and gloom, but this one's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Well, not everything needs to be about politics.
No.
So,
Well, and with everything going on with the virus that we've had and everything, I think it's kind of important to highlight this and keep an eye on things.
Mhm.
But, there was a case a couple months back in a very rural part of China. And on the 27th of September, there was another case. And this was in Yunnan. And the local government actually raised it to a level 4 emergency,
wow.
which they didn't even do for COVID or any of that. So, and they actually tested everybody in the areas for it, like anybody that was in any proximity.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And they said that the reason they did this is because they found 3 dead rats in a village. That's what prompted them to start testing everybody, which sounds really kind of hokey to me. Like, I just imagine that
Here's these
finding
3 random rats.
you find 3 dead rats in New York, we're not going to throw a fuss about it, much less China, for God's sakes.
No.
Like, I don't know, that's really sketchy to me. But there have been 6 confirmed cases
Oh my gosh.
and 3 deaths in Mongolia this year. And so I guess,
Mongolia?
Yeah.
Is that still in China?
yep. So this happened in Yunnan, which is in China. One thing I really want to point out is the population. So Wuhan has a population of 11 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yunnan's population is 48 million. So
Can
we're
you give those
talking
numbers again, please?
Wuhan is 11 million
Oh my gosh.
and Yunnan is 48 million.
Oh my word, big bird.
So, we're talking about a much higher population density, which is not good for the previous virus. And I can't imagine is good for this one either. Another thing to note is that during the last thing is that China was not exactly transparent with numbers and information,
Do they even know what transparency is?
and I just don't trust it. Like, that doesn't sound right. I think it's a much more serious thing, and just to freak out this much over some dead rats and a couple of cases, it seems. It says they did county-wide tests throughout the area. So the entire counties they went through and tested all these people.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine them going through and like doing all of our county or anything? Like, that'd be crazy. Much less places that obviously have millions.
Yeah.
So if their population for the whole place is 48 million, I imagine if they did 4 counties, that's several million tests they just did
Yeah.
in a very short amount of time at a
It's gonna
very
be
high expense.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting come the next couple of weeks if they
Right.
do a little bit of transparency. You know what I mean?
Yes. This isn't something that I've found on much of the mainstream media or anything. I had to actually look at some of the overseas publications to find this.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, RT, Sky, and those ones. Not finding anything
Like
locally.
Sky News.
Not finding anything locally that has anything about it
Of course
whatsoever.
not. Communist China's news is not going to let anything come out.
Right. Then another thing is there was a whistleblower that had come out and said that, COVID had been manufactured in a lab and was released that way and stuff, and got a little bit of traction. Some people questioned it, obviously, which they should. But his mother was actually just arrested 18 hours ago.
Whose mother?
The mother of the person, the whistleblower.
Really?
Yep.
So they're trying to blackmail him into like reversing it.
I don't know
probably.
exactly what's going on, but it looks like they're trying to definitely silence some people right now. I try to stay away from conspiracies on this and stuff. I not get too deep down that stuff, but last time we thought it was a conspiracy, it turned out to be COVID. So I think it's worth noting and keeping an eye out for sure. But so not a whole lot of news on that exactly, but just something to watch out for, I guess.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I just don't. Can you imagine another bubonic plague?
Right.
Like that's where the whole pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Yeah,
Where that song came from.
that was from the plague, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look what I got in the mail today. I'm going to show this off to you a little bit. Got this nice little Joe Biden thing. I'll block out my address and stuff there. But
It's too late now.
right there, it's already all over the internet. To build us back better is now their motto, I guess. To beat COVID-19, build on the Affordable Care Act, build back the American economy that you ruined by shutting everything down. So basically fix all the things that you messed up already. So
There's another story I wanted to talk about. Am I still good over here? Okay. There's another story. And it deals with little Mark Zuckerberg.
mhm.
And it perfect. Yeah. And it $9.6 million Zuckerberg grant to unvetted vendors and to block poll watchers.
Black poll watchers?
Block poll watchers, yeah. To Harris County election controversy. Now, this is the Texan.news. It says in a 3-2 party line vote Tuesday, the Harris County Commissioners Court approved the acceptance of a $9.6 million grant funded by the Priscilla Chan and Mark Zuckerberg through the Center for Tech and Civil Life. The grant is part of a $300 million donation that Chan and Zuckerberg announced earlier this month and is advertised as helping local officials to provide quote unquote safe elections under COVID-19 conditions. According to the CTCL press release, the grants are to support poll worker recruitment, hazard pay, training, drive-through voting, ballot application processing equipment, personal protective equipment, and non-partisan voter education from cities and counties.
Interesting.
How can it be non-partisan when Mark Zuckerberg and all the big tech have done all they can to censor conservatives?
Right. Yeah, I mean, we just got our. I can't hear anything myself on this at all. Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
It must be my headphones. But I mean, yeah, we just had our ad taken down, or we weren't allowed to post it.
Yeah, they wouldn't
On
let me post
Facebook,
it on
so-
Facebook at all.
It's definitely can't be non-biased.
Did you hear yourself?
Yeah, no, I can hear it. Definitely can't be non-biased. They can't say they're non-biased when we see it all over.
Can these grants have already been awarded through Mark Zuckerberg's organization in Michigan, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin? Those are
All swing states.
yes.
Every one of them.
Every single one of them are swing states.
Wow. Yeah, this selection is going to be corrupt. I'm very concerned. I think both. Well, I don't know if both, but I think for sure one party is going to try to steal it. I mean, we've already seen all the things going on in Minnesota. I have a whole video on that about the ballot fraud. It's going on there where Ilhan Omar is taking advantage of the Somali immigrants. So it's some horrible things going on right now.
Yeah.
We definitely got to keep an eye out for it. We need poll watchers. We need people out there doing those things right now.
Contact your leaders, guys. Ask them what you can do to help. And they will point you in the right direction of what you want to do.
Twitter.
Hmm?
Log on to Twitter. Yeah, we got to definitely get people out there watching these things and making sure.
Yep. And I'm going to show you what these ballot drops offs look like if I can pull it up.
I don't have an account, so you're gonna have to.
Sign in.
Here, hold on.
It's the woke stuff.
It's all the same.
What?
Nothing. You have anything else?
I posted a video earlier and want to have Chad play the audio for it here in a minute once he gets that up and going. But
What video?
Michelle Obama talking about Trump.
Oh,
So it's a highlight from that longer video.
yes.
So I wanted to play that and show her her bias and her idiocracy. It goes along with all the things that she's saying. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we'll have to get that up here in a second.
I'm still trying to find these ballot drop box. So I don't know if anyone can see it, but there
You have
is
to get closer.
the state of Connecticut also has these official ballot drop box. And Mark Zuckerberg's not the only one that's been. You want to come sit down, producer Chad, and have a talk? It's not. LeBron James is doing it in LA. So like doing all these ballot drops and everything. And Mike Bloomberg, he's going and paying the fines for all felons so they're able to vote in Florida. So guys, they are trying their hardest. And if you don't see what's going on by the different bias going on in the news, why in the world would Trump have to wear a mask in his own house? I don't wear a mask in my house, but I've never been sick though. But it just goes to show, like, if people are just gonna come at you left and right during this whole process. I haven't seen this. I would hit that save right there too, Chad, so it will save the passwords.
So this is just a little piece of Michelle Obama's speech that she made. Was it last night? Yeah, I think it was last night. So like
Yeah,
18
it
hours
was.
ago.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
And just shows the hypocrisy and all the things she has to say. So you can go ahead and roll it, Chad, whenever you're.
They're stoking fears about Black and brown Americans, lying about how minorities will destroy the suburbs, whipping up violence and intimidation. And they're pinning it all on what's been an overwhelmingly peaceful movement for racial solidarity. It's true. Research backs it up. Only a tiny fraction of demonstrations have had any violence at all.
Is this what you were
So
saying?
what the
Reagan?
president is doing is once again patently false. It's morally wrong. And yes, it is racist. But that doesn't mean it won't work.
Oh my God.
Because this is a difficult time.
I know why she's doing
confusing
this.
time.
Because he's
When
winning.
people hear these lies and crazy
'Cause
conspiracies
they-
repeated over and over,
Because they've created this
over
monster
again,
and they can't control it
they
anymore.
don't know what to think. With everything going on in their lives, they don't have time to fact check falsehoods being spread throughout the internet.
Or
So
fact check
Even
you.
reasonable people
Just hit
might
save,
get
Chad.
scared. And the one thing this president is really, really good at is using fear and confusion and spreading lies to win.
S-
Yeah. So she goes on to start with by saying that he's
Describe
throwing
the
this
video.
this rhetoric. Well, it's CGI'd over like her over top of all the footage of all riots. I'm not even gonna call them protests anymore. The riots that have been going on with the buildings burning and the looting going on. And that plays on behind her as she's giving this speech. And it's very fitting because they've created this monster that is now out of their control.
Yeah.
And it's running rampant. And yes, he is saying that it's coming to the suburbs and stuff. We've been saying that as well because it is. It's already hit a lot of them.
Cory Booker and can Biden have a plan? Can it involve if the suburbs do not submit to adding the low income housing to the suburbs,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to take the funding from those suburbs. So all the city officials, suburb people, they get funding and everything. Can if they don't allow them to get the funding, meaning like if they don't allow them to build the low income housing where they are at, then like Biden and Cory Booker's plan is to take the funding away. And that was just to explain like the Cory Booker and Biden plan for the suburbs. But the burning and looting, that has nothing to do with Trump. That is the rhetoric for Antifa and Black Lives Matter. It's not a myth, like Jerry Nadler said. It's not an idea,
Yeah, like Joe Biden.
like Joe Biden said. What I was saying was, I bet she did this video calling Trump a racist. Because if you noticed, every time Joe Biden says something racist, the next day or a couple hours later, they come up with something right out of the gate
Right.
for Joe Biden to cover up. It was because Joe Biden yesterday said, was it yesterday?
I think it was actually like a few days ago. It just kind of got some traction though.
That Joe Biden said the reason why I was able to stay in my house, in my basement, was because a black lady was stocking the shelves. Tell me, how is that not racist? Why is that not all over the news? When are they going to condemn him for being the racist little prick that he is?
Right. No,
He is racist. Like that is like, if that's not,
well, you can look at what, and honestly, I still haven't had anybody show me anything where Trump said that's racist. But you can say that he says racist things and stuff. But if you look at his policies, it does not reflect that whatsoever.
well, show me what he has said that's racist.
Exactly. But I'm saying, like, even if he had, which I haven't been given any proof yet, but even if he had, I'd much rather look at somebody's policies and what they've actually done and go off of that and see if they're racist. Like, no, he's done nothing but help the middle class. Black unemployment was at the lowest it's been in, 50 years?
Oh, I think over that.
And he has tried to help the middle class in every way possible. Like, the middle class was getting $5,000 more a year compared to what they were back in 2016.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous. We can't. And then for her to go on this whole tangent about it's racist, he's racist, these are peaceful marches, that the numbers go on to show that only a small percentage of the protests turn violent. Okay, let's use that same narrative and let's use that to Kyle Rittenhouse. Only a small part of his night was violent. So should we condemn him the rest of his life based off of that small percentage of what he was doing?
No.
I don't know. Well, they can't have it both ways. It's either one way or the other. So if they say, yes, we can condemn him, then yes, we can condemn these groups. We can condemn these marches. We can condemn all these little protests that turn violent.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not a protest anymore when you are looting every building, burning them down. People are losing their livelihood and their homes.
Yep.
Can you look up how many like apartment buildings or like apartments were lost in Minnesota?
There was apartments lost.
Yeah, I believe there was an entire apartment complex that was burnt down,
Oh my gosh.
like a low income apartment complex.
So I've started seeing all the Joe Biden, we support science over science over her whole thing is now that they support science.
Minnesota, Jen. Yeah.
And one of the thing is if you support the science, now this is just like I'm just trying to make a conversation while he's looking this up.
Mhm.
But if you support the science,
Can't look during the riots.
why do they not look at the science for the COVID-19 deaths?
Right.
Why don't you look at the science for never mind, I can't get in that topic because we'll get banned off of YouTube and we don't.
What was that top one right there? With that
Fires
affordable
dest-
housing project?
Yeah.
Fire destroys.
That's a pretty big project. 100 the building would have had 190 units.
I think that was just one that was under construction. That wasn't even the one that burned down.
So they burned down housing that was going to help people have houses.
Right. No, there's a video somewhere out there of a lady crying and screaming at the protesters outside of the building saying, "You're burning down my
That
home."
was New York.
Nope, it was in Minnesota.
Oh, was it? Well,
Yep.
there was one in New York also, to where it was this black lady that she was yelling at the Black Lives Matter people in Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you not know what goes on here? You just destroyed a house or the bench of a homeless man who has been sleeping here for years, who charges his phone right there where you just destroyed. My house is right here. You just busted the window open of my apartment. Like,
There's 30 fires and 16 structure fires during the protests. So a lot. There's a whole lot of housing lost. They've ruined their own community over this. Like there was that other video of the lady in Target, crying, taping it, saying like, "I can't feed my kids right now because all this is ruined. I have nowhere else to go right now."
yeah, they're just like, they're not doing it. I mean, like in the beginning, maybe it was for George Floyd, but right now it's not for George Floyd anymore. It is for political gain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making y'all look bad. Like everyone knows in those states that it's going on right now, they know what's going on. In Oregon, they know what's going on.
Oh my goodness.
Well, what is that?
That's all the structure fires in St. Paul, Minneapolis.
From the George Floyd?
Yeah.
No, is that really?
Yeah.
Twin Cities restaurant retail stores were hit the hardest. Oh my gosh. Look, and it's way.
It's
Where is
miles
Gladstone?
away.
Gladstone, that is.
That's miles away.
Yeah. So don't say it's not coming to the suburbs because it's way into the
Look,
suburbs.
all down the metropolitan area right through there. Like, oh my God.
And we're not saying that as in bad way to the Lord. We're saying this as
What do we got? We got restaurants 267, retail 207, service 114, grocery 85. What's that one below that?
Cell phones.
Cell phone store 76, gas stations 63, auto stores 60, residents, is that what that says?
Yeah.
53. It's homes.
so
Talking
53
homes.
homes of people.
Salon and barbers 52, and healthcare facilities 47. That's how many buildings and businesses were lost in these protests. That is unbelievable. That number is staggering. That's way worse than I even thought it was.
That's bad.
That is terrifying to see that. And Joe Biden will not come out and condemn that.
No,
2.4.
Trump said he wanted 1.2 trillion.
Right. I
And
thought
the
that,
reason
she
why
wanted 3.2 or something like that. So I thought they met in the middle.
well, he said he's canceling it because she wants all of the money to go to the cities that have been burning during riots. And Trump said, I'm not paying for that. We're not giving federal money to because the Democrats did not want to stop it.
Because they didn't want to run their cities.
No, you have made your bed, you lay in it.
Right.
So, and if Trump has to eat it, he's got to eat it. Like, so what?
Now you got me going down the rabbit hole. Look, this is just around the police.
Wow. Yep. It's bad. It's real bad.
Heavy damage near police precincts, destroyed. My goodness, man.
I hope this is waking people up because they need to. Because this
How
is
many
really
is in
bad.
Portland? Can you look up how many is in Portland?
Wow. That's unbelievable.
So, in other good news,
Yep. I need some good news right now.
my mom and dad are officially registered to vote for the first time.
I heard you say that. It's awesome.
Yeah, for the first time. My dad is
Voting for Biden, huh?
turning 50. My mom's 47. First
Wow.
time. It's pretty crazy.
That is crazy. That's good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Hopefully they're watching right now.
I doubt
Too late.
it. my dad's on a 48-hour shift right now.
Well, what else should he be doing but watching this during that time?
He's probably sleeping. It's what time? Oh yeah, he's probably zonked out. Corey's on a call.
They on the same time zone? Is this-
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Very nice.
Riots erupt downtown Portland after peaceful protests.
Well, and a lot of things people don't realize is that it's still going on. Like I just sent you that link last night
Yeah.
to the live stream.
132 days.
The live stream of riots going on last night in New York and Texas and Portland still. Like it's not stopped. It's not over and it's not going to be over for a long time, I don't think.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Bad news is creepy Uncle Joe strikes again.
Oh no, did he sniff somebody again? Please tell me he did.
Here, hold on. Can y'all hear this?
The bad news for you is I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older too.
I heard
So,
that.
Great to see you. So thank you.
Oh my
Are
god.
they old?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm
What's the
about to say-
context of it, I guess?
Oh, here's
I
another.
thought he was talking about cuties originally, but
Here, hold on. We're about to see it again. It's going to be a different angle, so maybe to show the people.
Good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is I'm coming back.
that is bad news.
Here's only 12 people, maybe 15. Oh my gosh, they're like 10 years old.
Oh geez.
See, look, they're like right there in the corner. Maybe 12.
They're probably 14. That's why he's saying in 4 more years because they'll be.
No,
They don't look 14
No, they do not look 14 at all. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't know what's going on in that video.
That's
I need
from
to
a
see
September 15th campaign event.
I need to see the whole thing to kind of get some context on it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's really all I have right now. Got another story I'm working on right now. It's not quite ready yet, but hopefully be ready Thursday. Be really interesting. Has to do with that live stream I was watching last night of all the riots going on.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So I got to do some more digging and probably some phone calls and stuff. If it goes the way it goes, it could be really big. Could be really exciting.
I am. I'm trying to do a lot more research on this whole the boogeyman of politics,
Which one?
George Soros.
I still don't like.
I'm coming for you, Georgie. I just want you to know I'm looking at you. I know I've seen everything. And I do have to.
Now we're getting banned.
Now I do want to tell you, George Soros. Donald Trump has accepted money from George Soros as president. So
Great,
just-
we're getting on a racketeering charge now, like a RICO.
Do you want me to tell you how much it was? was only $10.
That's just so that he can say he gave to him, so that he can't
He
say
gave
anything.
Donald Trump $10. He's given other Republicans $2,500.
Hey, we're looking for sponsors. Hook us up, man.
I don't know. I don't want nothing from him. I'm a little scared. Might have to turn to the dark side.
Oh, yeah,
Oh boy, Yaga, there we go. The boogeyman.
Yeah.
Killed him with the fucking pencil.
John
He's the
Wick.
man you call to kill the fucking boogeyman.
Guys, there is before we get off of here, I just want to here's a quote that Glenn Beck went on a really good thing when he opened up today. And it was, we're not in a battle between Joe Biden and Trump. It's not a fight between the left and the right. It's a battle of light and dark, hope and fear, life and death. And
Sounds like some Yoda stuff.
Ken, if you think about it, that's exactly what is going on. Well, like, I believe in the end times because I believe in my Lord Jesus Christ, and eventually, He talks about this in the end in Revelations, where like it will be nations against nations. There will be good versus evil, talks of war like in the end times, and if you think about it, right now we are talking of war amongst ourselves. We are talking of nations against nations. If you think about it, how like everyone considers to be African American and white Americans and everything like that, like the white people versus that they're trying to turn the black people against the white people and the white people against the black people. When
Creating race wars, yeah.
yeah, they're creating race wars right now. With talks with China, the Cold War with China right now, with Russia, with North Korea, like it's all happening in the background right now. They're not talking about it because they want us focused on this. They want us to be divided. I'm gonna say it again. I've said it before. We cannot be divided. We have to come as one nation under God. We have to become one nation that stands in unity together to stand up against the hatred. We should not be fighting amongst ourselves. We need to be fighting against the big time governments to not let them take our God-given rights away. We need to take the fight to them. We don't need to take the fight amongst ourselves. We should be friends, locked in arms, like celebrating the love we have for each other, and take the fight to the big time governments. Show them that we are one nation. We are not under the politicians. The politicians do not tell us what to do. They work for us. My taxpayer money, your taxpayer money, producer Tad's taxpayer money goes and funds them.
Jed didn't pay taxes. He's got the same accountant as Donald Trump.
But I just wanted to go on and just say, like,
$10.
that we need to have unity amongst ourselves. It's time to stop the rioting. And if you want to protest somebody, protest the people who are funding the riots. Protest the people who are allowing the hate, like Kamala Harris, who is saying like she's not going to stop and call for an end to these protests because they need to be done.
Right.
That's not right, guys. Y'all should know that. Get anyone on the left who thinks that is right, they don't deserve to be free anymore. They need to be in jail for insinuating the riots, for going along with it. And that's all I have to say about it, guys. I just want you to know, here at the Woke Conservatives, we don't want to construe hate towards one another. That's the least we want to do, but we're just going to call out the bull crap on the left and the right. So now I've called out Donald Trump for how stupid he is when he tweets all the time and the stuff like that. So there's going to be more because I've seen like the stuff that these these Republican politicians, the people who they've taken money from. And I'm going to be calling it out on the podcast here. So
A lot more to come. One thing I definitely want to add to it is, they like to always attribute whatever's going on with the current president to the president before that,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to economy and things like that. One thing we're really seeing with the racial tensions is that is a leftover product of Obama period, because he's the one that really started the rhetoric of the police brutality and stuff, and calling the police out by name and stuff when all these things happened, when he didn't even have all the facts,
Mhm.
and really inflaming these racial tensions to the point of where they're at now. And he definitely started it, not so much with the black on white race wars and stuff, but he was aiming more towards the
police.
Mexican. I mean, they were doing things to Mexico and everything that were really, really bad that go completely unreported. You know, we have Operation Fast and Furious that doesn't get talked about at all, where they were running guns right into Mexico and got caught doing it.
But what about bombing the
They were
children?
well, they were doing that to not only trace them back to say like we need stricter gun laws in the U.S. because guns are getting across the border. They're doing it to destabilize the government in Mexico. Like there were a lot of bad things going on. He started the whole kids in cages thing that was going on during his administration. He started it. Trump is actually looking to put that to an end. So all of this is honestly a leftover product of the Obama period, and we need to call that out too, because he didn't start this. These things have been going on much longer than he's been in office, and we cannot allow them to keep pointing everything that's wrong in the country to him.
Joe, guys, how can everything be Trump's fault? And he's only been president for 4 years. Not even 4 years yet.
Right.
Barack Obama was the one that was in charge of all the stuff before Trump. You have to think, like, just like you said, the Fast and Furious. What about all the bombings that he did in the Middle East that killed numerous of children?
Yeah.
What about, just like you said, the locking in cages? I mean, like, Trump didn't want to do that. That's just the law. That's just what was set in front of him. That's what got dumped on his lap.
Well, people like to say
Not
all the
everything
time,
is going to change overnight.
they like to go up and say like, oh, well, it's Trump's fault. He needs to change it and stuff. Like, I guarantee he doesn't know every little thing that's going on.
No, they're
If you look at somebody that just runs a small, manufacturing facility, the manager doesn't know everything that's going on in every little aspect of the whole place.
no.
He puts people in charge of those things, and sometimes those people do horrible jobs, and they need to be like, oh, that happens. And that's Trump's trying to figure out. He walked into a mess,
Yes.
absolute mess. What's going on
Like how many?
with foreign policy, with the border, with all those things? Like an absolute mess. I would not want to walk in on that.
No.
He got handed just an absolute raw deal. But like you were saying, though, we need to just be united on these things, move forward, and try to fix them together and not be divided. Not allow these things to divide us the way they have been.
Now we're always going to have difference when it comes to politics, but what I'm saying is, it's a country as a whole. Put the politics aside and just come united together. That's one nation under God and justice for all.
But on that note, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great night, and we will be back live streaming again on Thursday. We can say that day now because it's going to be live.
Yeah, so please go like, subscribe, hit the notification. Go on Twitter, people. Like us on Twitter. Go like us on Parler. Go like us on Facebook. Hit the notifications. Get our notifications. We love you. Just stay free. Know that liberty in the pursuit of happiness is in your hands.
Yep. And just remember, freedom isn't free.
No, it's not.